You might have
I'm
been
so
muted.
confused right now. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another Link to the Past Randomizer tournament race. That is true. I am joined today with Killer App 23, and we got quite a matchup. What can you tell us about this matchup, Killer App?
Other than we both got killed by Andy in the tournament, this is a matchup of 3-2 records in the tournament, so a big one today. The winner moves on to the group stage, and the loser has to be in the playoff this Saturday, I believe.
That big old 30-something person tiebreaker where top 6 moves on? Oh, yeah. Looking forward to that one. There's also something else interesting about this matchup. I feel like I've seen this one before. You know what I'm talking about? Chad, you guys know what I'm talking about? You guys know what I'm talking about. This here we have is a grudge match, basically, from last tournament, where these two met in, top 16, I think? During the best of 3?
I think it was early in the brackets, yeah.
Yeah, it was a very exciting set of games. So let's see how our players have adapted.
Oh my, early ice rod.
That's always nice to see. Well, until we know what we need for T-Rock.
Yeah. We got Pendant Eastern, red pendant, and the other two are normal crystals. So,
and it looks like
oh, go ahead.
It looks like both players still taking the same route. You know, is this the default route? Link's house to Uncle, Sanctuary to the rest of the game.
I think it changes every version, but
it definitely. I think the bombs from the tree pole really, and from the bush crabs, really determined the routing in this. Interesting, Mike the V not checking the lumberjack cave, so let's see what he's missing out on. Oh, just a piece of heart. Nothing to worry about there. And of course, later on the seed, we might see him go back and check that later once he has the boots and stuff. So
yeah, I know I like to hold off on that check at least until I have maybe boots and Master Sword or the lamp for AGA 1.
Alrighty, so nothing much going on yet. We just got an ice rod. We're still looking for... looking for quite a few things.
But I don't think two are worried. They're just glad they have bombs and money at the start.
Yeah, they both have enough rupees for the bottle vendor, so they can knock that out immediately. And with the tree poles, neither of them are going to have to buy bombs from the shop on the way out, so that's good.
So interesting assortment of items in Blind's Hut. We got the power glove and the single arrow. So
yeah, that's definitely worth pointing out. Gotta find that single arrow. We should dedicate the single arrow to chat since they love it so much.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, with that power glove in hand, of course they're both going to finish out the rest of Kakariko, but I wonder if we'll see any sort of sequence breaks up to Death Mountain or a check immediately into the back of Escape. More to be revealed. What do we got in the bottom of the well? Anything of value?
I usually call it the value well. Oh, we get the moon pearl.
That's pretty valuable. So we already have 2 pieces of the 3-piece set to get into the Dark World. We have glove and moon pearls. So all we need now is a hammer or another glove. And we could see this world just completely open up to these players. Oh, there's Bombos.
Interesting item from the bottle vendor.
Unfortunately, neither player is going to end up missing that, so... But at the same time, we don't really know its value yet. We could have Pendant, Mire, and T-Rock in the seed.
Yeah, all we really need early on is a Canis Samarian. Will definitely be hinted at doing those dungeons. Maybe early, maybe in go mode, you never know.
Also, whenever I see Bombos, I immediately start wondering about Ice Palace's play in this seed. We've seen... I don't know how many times, but we've always seen potential for, Bombos to get an item to get to the Fire Rod, or just Bombos blocking Fire Rod in general in Ice Palace, so Mike the V rounding out the rest of his Kakariko visit. Anything of value going on in here?
Nope.
The question is, what are our players going to do next? I personally would go for the escape play, just because that's a quick, easy 3 chests, and it gives you a little bit more information about Hyrule Castle in general.
Nothing at the race game either.
And it looks like Mike the V is going to be going into the back of escape, or he could be going up for the Death Mountain play. But that would be kind of... I don't know, it's a little too early to start sequence breaking, in my opinion.
He is going back of escape. You also could have went to the Houlihan room if you needed more money. If you thought about going to Zora after this.
But Houlihan's dead. What are you talking about?
Oh my goodness, we have Dark World access.
There it is. Just like
not 6 minutes in.
Oh
Holy
my god.
Crap.
Well, this game is completely opened up now.
Yep.
I have no idea how the rest of this seed is going to play out now, because so many times we have seeds where it ends up being like the very last item you find in the light world gets you Dark World access. This is going to be the opposite.
B26 notorious for getting you a linear route right in the beginning to certain progressive items.
Now, I like this play from Mike. I feel like, despite the fact that you do have Dark World access, you don't want to put off those light world items. You don't want to put them off for too long.
Especially when you have a bunch of them in one concentrated area, like Dam and Mini Moldorm Cave.
Andy going for the Houlihan trick.
Did he get it? I think he did. Yep.
Well, nice. Well, the thing is, when you get that Moon Pearl, you'll be able to route the same route that Mike the V is doing, but he will be able to throw in a fake flipper, potential water walk, especially with that 50 rupees right there. He'll have his 500.
Yep. Get all that
Zora
area done at once.
And we'll be seeing our first sequence break of the game. And I agree with it. Andy's going to have to be a little careful, though. One touch from the crab and he's dead. Also, when you don't have a weapon, really, for Mini Moldorm Cave, it can get a little hectic.
That's why I like seeing that early Samaria or sword. Makes this killing these guys a lot easier.
Mm-hmm. And if they had a little bit more magic, they could even use the Ice Rod.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, hook shot. Value item there.
Well, that opens up Dark World Death Mountain. Despite that would be a logic break, but they could do a lot of stuff in Death Mountain now.
Yeah, they could do about everything except for Tower of Hera.
Tower of Hera, Spike Cave, but they could get that information on Turtle Rock, as well as that lovely, map check in the Dark World.
Yeah, it's good to do that probably early so you know what you're looking for.
Oh, we are seeing a little Ice Rod action from Andy's side. Good. Good. And a double kill.
Very quick.
Oh, wow.
Room.
Yeah, really good RNG from those Mini Moldorms to make that room super free. Ooh, Mike, getting a little close with those crabs.
He does have one hit to spare, so...
Now, the reason why I liked seeing this overworld action is because I feel like there's got to be like some sort of set of amount of items you're supposed to get. Oh, Andy's got to be really careful. He's only got half a heart. Set amount of items that you like have to get in the light world. I don't know. I always feel like the items that they had so far, that it just wasn't enough. There needed to be more out there somewhere, and we already got Bottle and Hookshot. Let's see what else we got going on. I mean, we might even see like the early Eastern Palace play, even when they don't have a bow.
Yeah, I really don't. Eastern Palace play is never a bad play in the beginning, especially if it's a pendant dungeon. You can just get it out of the way.
It's also one of those things where if you put it off, like anything in the light world, once you get Dark World access, if you put it off for too long, you might just put it off for like ever.
Yeah.
And we could see like a hammer in Eastern Palace.
Oh wow! The bow. Oh my.
Well, that changes things. Now, of course, Eastern Palace is a pendant, so that bow is nice. But now it's like, oh well, now I have to complete. Now I could complete all of Eastern. I don't really want to do that, but we'll see what Mike the V decides to do. Of course, this will be potentially a logic break depending on how the items are displayed in Eastern Palace without that lantern in hand.
Piece of heart on floating island.
Yeah, just imagine. Look at all the stuff you would have missed if you'd gone straight into the Dark World.
Mm-hmm. Hobo with the silver arrows. Interesting.
Wow. That's a nice find, because he'll eventually, as soon as he makes his way over to Sasha, he'll have his bow for those silver arrows. And when you don't have a sword, it's kind of a nice little thing to have. So yeah, just a little reminder to people just joining us, this is a very important race. The winner of this goes straight into the group stages, will secure a 4-2 win-loss ratio in the Swiss round. The loser has to face off in the tiebreaker race that will be this Saturday. So it's a pretty big deal. You really want to win this race. Well, nothing going on for Andy yet, but we do get to see the fun little water walk. Now, he's been sitting on that half a heart for quite a while.
Yeah, he definitely made his way to the Ice Rod Cave without getting hit. Pretty good.
We haven't seen anything yet of value in Eastern Palace, but we're still looking.
And life lessons, per usual, from Zora.
Man. Well, he did get silvers, so I think that's worth wasting all that extra time checking all that other stuff.
Yeah,
so where
out of the way.
To next? Definitely making the Sahasra play, so he will get his bow soon. I wonder if both players are going to end up completely clearing Eastern Palace. It would be one thing if it was like Green Pendant or something.
Well, they have both the map and the compass, so Armos is holding an item.
Well, it makes you wonder where that lamp is going to be hiding. At this rate, it'd probably be like in Thieves Town or something.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh! Another sequence break item. The fire rod.
Well, that's a good item to find this early. Oh, and Andy's not going for it. He's gonna be missing out on that fire rod.
So we know the lamp will not be at Mothula. That's about all I can take from that fire rod.
And the nice thing about fire rod is it makes this room a little bit easier if you choose to light the torch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, man, sequence breaks coming out in style for both players. Andy finding the silver arrows, which are nice. They don't really progress you yet. But Mike the V finding the fire rod on the right side of Eastern Palace. Let's see what Armos also has. We could get 2 progressive items here.
Andy taking his sequence break up to Death Mountain.
Yeah, and doing the Death Mountain stuff is a little bit harder and a little bit more time consuming when all you have is a hook shot. Boomerang's a little bit easier because you don't have to wait for the for the recoil to come back. And of course having a sword is preferred. Of course having a light is most preferred, but oh man, what do you think Armos is gonna have? I kinda want him to have nothing at this point.
Nope, you got your wish.
Sweet. Good.
But he did find an important item in there, so it's not a loss at all.
I really want to know where that lamp is. It's got to be Dark World somewhere. I mean, it could be as simple as like Agana's Cave or something like that.
Yeah.
Or even like the beginning of Hyrule Castle. Which Mike might be making that play right now. Looks like it, yeah.
It's nice having the fire rod so you can reach the one down below in the dark. You can light the torch next to the chest.
Oh, the sewer chest?
Yeah. The sewer chest, yeah.
Something worth noting, both our players are still only at 5 hearts apiece. There's got to be some health around here somewhere, right? But where?
Maybe. Oh. Wow!
So there's a flute somewhere out in the wild. That's that's easily accessible.
Yep. That's the immediate information you gain from picking up the lamp there. So you cannot get that lamp without the flute. By logic. Ooh! Wow! And he gets the flippers and some blue mail. Oh, and the red mail!
There it is! Who
There's
needs
your
health
safety.
upgrades when you have tunics?
Exactly. Oh.
Ooh. Yeah, it's a little bit hard to... Yeah, hard to set that up when you don't have the boots. Boots allow you to kind of buffer it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And when you don't have a sword, you can't really buffer it as easily.
Well, in Andy's case, he would rather have the boots so he could just hover over.
Oh, true. Classic Andy. Alright, what else we got up in Death Mountain? Got a lot of hype so far, which is really nice.
Mm-hmm. You don't see it too often nowadays.
Mike the V using that fire rod to take out the ball and chain guy real quick. What do we got?
Nothing.
Alright, I wonder if Mike will also make the play up to Death Mountain at this point, or dive right into the Dark World finally. He also has a bottle that he can turn into Sick Kid. And the slow walk of shame in the Spiral Cave. Ugh.
Yeah, no fun there.
I like this. We see a little bit of hookshot action from both players, using it to kind of guide themselves around the overworld a little bit quicker. Mike remembering to check the Sick Kid right before heading in the Dark World. Now, I gotta wonder, where's that flute gonna be?
So Andy can check Super Bunny Cave chests. He can get all the chests in Hookshot Cave. And check what medallion T-Rock requires. He hasn't checked the map yet, though, so we don't know if it's going to be required or not.
Skipping the magic refill pot as well.
Here we go. It's a crystal, so we got 5 and 6 up in the northwest with Skullwoods and Thievestown. We got Pendant Mire and Green Pendant Swamp.
Green Pendant Swamp. Alright, so this could potentially... Oh, was that Ether at T-Rock?
It was Ether on T-Rock, so...
Alright, we haven't seen that one yet.
is no use yet.
So
although they do have access to Ice Palace now.
That is true. Just no hammer. But this could easily turn into one of those, you know, hammer and Ice Palace kind of scenarios. Now, with those pendant dungeons in mind, I feel like we could already go ahead and start thinking about that pedestal seed potential.
Wait, did he find the flute? Mike the V found the flute, I believe.
Flute in Skullwoods?
In Skullwoods, Value Woods.
That definitely makes sense based on where we found a bunch of stuff in Death Mountain. Oh, and there's sort of Bumper Cave.
Wow.
That's kind of
Interesting.
what a tease. Yeah, with these pendant dungeons in mind, you know, this could be a mirrorless seed, which mirrorless seeds are interesting because it forces you to kind of route a lot of dungeons a lot differently, and especially routing G Tower is kind of weird because you don't have the safety of mirroring out if you find the big key like midway. Andy picking up his boomerang. Now I wonder if Mike's gonna go into Thieves Town early. Kind of hope I'd rather see him go up to Death Mountain and get those 2 tunics. Because 5 hearts and green mail, no sword. Oh, wait, hold on.
Yeah, he doesn't have a weapon to kill blind.
Doesn't have a weapon. That's true. The question is, where's that cape now? And the other funny thing is, even though Mike did have the fire rod, you know, no sword, so you can't even finish Skull Woods. But I believe he did find both the weapons in there, or the items in there. It was the flute and 300 rupees, so... I believe the only things that work on blind are swords, hammer, the canes, both Cane of Samaria and Cane of Burna. And I think that's it. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Hammer. I think. Play the fun digging game. Looks like we're gonna have a bunch of digs before we find our item here. Just a heart container, which you'll take at this point with only green mail.
Yeah, that is actually very nice to have. 6 hearts is still definitely not enough, especially with green mail. There's some enemies that can really do a quick number on you.
Mm-hmm.
I believe the green flying guys that drop bombs, I think they do 3 hearts of damage each with green mail.
Not much here in the overworld so far. Dark overworld.
Well, the other thing we're thinking about, though both players are in the dark world with no access back to the light world without saving and quitting, so they'll definitely route everything out first, is they'll be able to go check the Mire area next, which is always nice. And if Mire ends up being Bombos, oh, they still need a sword to get into Mire, though. You always got to start routing and thinking about those pendant dungeons right from the beginning. So you never know which one's going to be required. And so far, one of them has been required with that Fire Rod in Eastern Palace.
Oh, we have the hammer in... Oh, and a sword and hype cave! Holy cow! So we have our first sword and hammer, so... Mike with several options to go to now. So,
oh,
you know,
man.
Oh, he can now head up to Death Mountain. He has access to Hera, access to complete Ice Palace.
We finally got a hype cave worthy of that name. That's a rare sight to see in V26.
Very, very rare.
And hammer is just one of those items that you always want to have early, because there's so much stuff that they unlock, and especially when you still don't have a weapon yet, and then they find 2 in the same spot. Ooh, here's something to think about. You could, with this, route up to go to Tower of Hera. Could be an easy... Yeah, what do you think our players are going to do next for dungeons?
Yeah, I think Mike's gonna head up and do Hera for sure. He can get that all in one, like everything, all in one go. Because now he has a hammer to do. Well, he doesn't have a safety for Spike Cave, so he can't really do that right now yet. But he can do everything else.
once Mike finishes the Death Mountain stuff, that will give him the layup so that he can comfortably do pod, though I'm sure he would have done it in the dark.
Yeah, and Andy more likely to do pod at this point.
Just keep routing up. He'll be able to check the pyramid too. And we've seen runs die to players putting off checking the pyramid to like very late game. Now, something also worth thinking about is with that fire rod in hand, Mike could also do both Skullwoods and Thievestown immediately and go for the pyramid fairy check. Route that into the pyramid check. So I'm wondering if that's what he was thinking about doing when he saved and quit out of Hype Cave. It's also really nice when you have a Crystal Tea Rock and you already have your Ice Rod.
For sure. And then you don't mind not having Canis Maria right away, because it means you might get to save it for go mode, which is always nice.
Yeah. We've also seen a lot of early T-Rock plays holding, some required item on the laser bridge. But
on my race with Andy last week.
Oh, really? What happened?
We actually were both a hook shot and ice rod away from go mode, and I guess we both were in the Death Mountain, checked the hook shot, or checked the caves and checked the medallion for T-Rock, and I was gonna gamble it right away if I saw if I could get in, and I could, but Andy did the same gamble, so he ended up winning. Because it had ice rod right at the beginning on the right side, and then the hook shot was in the big key chest.
Oh man, you were hoping that was going to be your ace in the hole.
Yeah. But it was a smart play, so I can see why he did it too.
All right, Mike the V picking up his lamp, his flippers, and both of his mail upgrades, while Andy takes a trip into Palace of Darkness. Now, this is not the best. This is not the most ideal Palace of Darkness, because without a mirror, you're going to have to start considering death warps and all that. And this is a scenario where you're kind of happy to have a low amount of hearts.
And if he gets keys right away, he can route it so that he can check every chest with only having to do... Well, you really don't have to death warp if you do the hammer jump.
That is true. So for his sake, I'm sure he's hoping to find the big key early, maybe on the right side.
Very true.
And it looks like Mike the V is making the Tower of Hera play. I like it. You got a fire source, you got a weapon. It's doable. It's a crystal. Might as well knock it out.
First item in Hera is only $20.
I wonder if and when we're going to find those boots. Because once you get boots, then all of a sudden hovering is on the table. And I know Andy has a few hovering tricks up his sleeve in Palace of Darkness, so unfortunately he will not get to use them unless he finds the boots in here. Now, the one thing I'm wondering for Andy is when and if he's going to make that trip back into Eastern. Or, not back, but when is he going to make the trip into Eastern? Because that could hurt him quite a bit if he puts it off for too long. But at the same time, he has so many other potentially better spots to go check. And when you have crystal dungeons to do, you'd rather just go do them.
Oh, and there's the capes, so there's his access to the Master Sword.
Nice.
Very nice to find that early.
That is a good find. That's one less item you have to worry about, and especially in this matchup, finding a Master Sword early is very relieving.
Hammer strats on Moldorm. He takes him down in quick fashion. Mike the robot strikes again.
Oh, it looks like Hera Basement, I believe, is going to be required in this one. I wonder if he'll go for it. Andy with the jukes on the bridge. Got him. And he is not going for it. Alrighty. Well, the nice thing is, if he ends up finding like a book or something, and it comes down to it, he can check either tablet and then do Hera Basement and then do Spike Cave, route all those into the same kind of group together.
Yeah.
The only problem is if that ended up being like a mirror or something. Because routing back up to Tower of Hera from the right side is never fun.
Mm-hmm. Although with Swamp Crystal Penny, you really don't mind not seeing the mirror for a while.
That's true. You'd rather not have that option.
Yeah.
And he's setting up the Death Warp. Only 20 rupees. Oh my
God! With red mail, you gotta bomb yourself a few times just to lose 1 heart.
Do they do like quarter damage now with red mail then?
I think so. Because I think blue mail does half damage and green mail does 1 full heart.
Good old red mail coming to the rescue. I gotta say, I really love the death animation for the pug. It's really cute. Well, this is going to be big for Mike the V, because at this point I could easily see him go now and do the Skullwoods Thieves Town play. He'll be able to full clear both of them. Well, he's already gotten both items in Skullwoods, so all he has to do is fight Mothula. And with red mail, I can't imagine it being too hard.
Yeah, I think he's good with hammer strats if he needs to.
But also worth considering with this hammer that Ice Palace is now definitely a go.
Mm-hmm.
It can do all of it, and I remember back in the day, Ice Palace was always like the last dungeon that everybody did. They're like, no, I'm not doing it. I hate Ice Palace. I'll do it later. But in V26, it always ends up being
a lot of players. They know they have access. They like to go there right away because of the possibility of a good item being there.
Mm-hmm. Now, have we, other than Cape, we haven't seen anything in Palace of Darkness. But
Nope.
That Cape, I'd say, is worth it. Worth enough.
Get our first look at the Mire area.
If it's Bombos, do you go in?
Not this early without the, well, it is Quake.
Whew.
So, I would say not this early if you don't have the, Kana Samaria. But he does have Bow and Silver, so Vitreous would not... Oh, well then!
Yes!
Is the seed trying to tell you something or what?
He's doing it too. He's going right in. You have a fire source, you have a hook shot, it's a quick check, and it's a pendant dungeon. Might as well knock it out early. Andy finishing off Helmstar easily using those silver arrows. Getting the compass. Alright, this could be big. I'm loving the route divergence from these players.
Yeah, very cool to see.
Alright, Andy, what's your next play? He's gonna go activate his flute. I was like, where's the bird? He's not showing. Oh, yeah. He routed all the way from Village of Outcast to Pod in one go. Alright, what kind of mire are we going to get today? The nice thing is, well, like the V.
Oh my gosh! The Mire first item, holy crap.
There it is!
Oh my.
Wow. Well, that is an incredible find.
Way to take that breadcrumb to a nice item to get for Mike.
And it's that's such an easy play to make. Ooh, Mike's got to be careful.
Oh. Those dastardly spikes.
Yeah, with no safeties. That right there is also a sequence break, if you think about it. And he's going to bail with that one item in hand. What if we'll see a Desert Palace check? This might be a bootless seed. Now, at this point, this does open up the entirety of Swamp Palace.
So they now...
So they can do Skull Woods, they can do Thieves Town, they can do Ice Palace, Pod. They just need... What are we looking for? Ana Samaria? And...
Possibly looking for the boots now since the small
And
key
the
is
boots.
on the torch.
Steal a key. Steal a key. No, don't do it. I don't think it would be. It would not be worth it in this scenario.
Well, yeah. All you'd be taking is a second item. You'd still need the boots.
So boots, Ana Samaria, and Ether. Now, I wonder, with this in mind, if I feel like you just got the Mire, would you go right into Swamp Palace? Because imagine how many dungeons you can go mode, but at the same time, what if the next item you needed is in that crystal dungeon you can do?
I mean, it's a good thing, but he still has Skullwoods and Thieves Town to complete. I'd probably do those first.
And we'll find out on Andy's side if we're going to find anything fancy in Thieves Town.
And there's our second boomerang.
And the nice thing is after this, Andy can go up and get his Master Sword as well. Which is definitely something that our players would do. They would not skip out on that sword.
No.
In hopes of finding another sword elsewhere. Oh, here we go for Mike. I wonder if he's going... He could get his silver arrows right now. Or he's gonna go straight into... Oh, okay, all right, hold on.
He has a Mire, so it's a good thing check that first.
It looked like he was making a beeline right for Ice Palace. I got bamboozled. But this is good. Silver arrows, this will even things up a little bit for that Ganon fight. Man, where's that cane? Cane in Ice Palace is such a popular location, in my opinion.
Yeah, that or in, of course, Pen and Swamp, where you find it a lot.
Well, the nice thing about Thieves Town is, as long as you have a sword, then you're good. A sword upgrade really doesn't make too big of a difference in this dungeon. Maybe for clearing out some of the smaller enemies, but for blind... I mean, you'll get, like, a little bit longer of a reach with a longer sword, but other than that... Oh, and apparently he hasn't seen the sword up there. That's what people in chat are saying.
No, Mike hasn't.
Mike hasn't? Okay. Or has Andy or Mike? Which one hasn't?
I believe it's... I thought Andy checked it. Oh, he hasn't. Okay, Mike did. My bad.
let's see this blind fight. What do you got for us, Andy? Put on a show. Give us that perfect scripted battle, since apparently it's scripted. Wow, that was a clean phase 2.
Well,
God, that's
cleaner than that.
That is gorgeous.
Someone hit the record button. That's the definitely the way to do that, boss.
And we got our first shield. The dinner plate! Ooh, man, I wonder, with that mirror in hand, will that north of graveyard come into play in this seed or not? It looks like Mike's going to be going for the Thief's Town play. Oh, and check and stun enemy drops. Just a single heart. Good information to have. Let's see, Mike can also check the Peg Cave over by Dark World Lumberjack. What else can we do with that? Alright, here's a big moment. Let's talk about this. And he's going to see Quake. It's required. He's going to get Quake. If he goes in and gets that mirror, but keeps going, we could see something big if we find a second item, a second progression item in Mire. Never mind. He's saying nope.
So that makes 2 items that Mike has that Andy probably won't find for a while.
It's interesting. Andy has skipped out on both pendant dungeons he's had access to so far. And both pendant dungeons ended up having... One had a required item, one had a potentially required item. We don't know the value of the mirror yet. And it could just be a red herring that could lead Mike to a bunch of unnecessary checks. So sometimes not finding the items or not having that information, works out for you in the end. But we'll see how the seed plays out. Andy now about to get his magic boomerang. Yeah, Thieves Town had nothing, right? It was a huge bust.
Just a shield.
Just a shield. Alright, Andy, what's the next play? Maybe a Tower Hera play? Nope, Eastern. Oh, he's making the play. He's going into Eastern. Let's go and get that fire.
He knows he can complete it.
Making me eat my words all of a sudden. Well, this is good. This is good. And then he'll be able to do Skull Woods and finish up or check the Pyramid Fairy.
It's interesting. He thinks he has a better chance of getting something good here than Ice Palace, maybe. The Ice Palace play. Since he does have Bombos.
Well, the thing of in version 26, it's risky to not check any pendant dungeons.
Yeah.
Especially this far into a run. Because there is no bias between crystal and pendant dungeons. You might as well just treat every dungeon as a crystal dungeon. You just might not have to finish all the pendant dungeons, so. Yeah, this race isn't over. We're still looking for a few items. We need Cane of Samaria, we need Ether, and we need the boots. So until we start seeing some of those...
Key item right now is the mirror, so...
It's a huge difference maker.
Now, both players are probably pretty much tied.
And Mire was on the bridge in Misery Mire. And Mike the V would have checked a few more things in there. Maybe found the second item, but he ended up dying in the spike room. But at the same time, as I said earlier, we still don't know if the mirror is actually required. We already know it's not required because Swamp Palace isn't a crystal. But if something ends up being in Swamp Palace, then of course.
Or it could be on one of the tablets, or Bombo's tablet, or south of Grove.
Well, that would make for some interesting logic if you had to get the cape from Pod, to get the Master Sword from Bumper Cave, and then Book was just somewhere. And then
Yeah.
Bombos end up having something like the Cane of Samaria or Ether or Boots.
So Mike taking out Blind just the same as Andy did. Really quickly.
Man, it's like these guys have played this game for years.
They don't
Funny
look
enough-
like speedrunners at all.
No. Can't speedrun Randomizer, that's not a thing. Hello. Andy picking up his fire rod. He's gonna go ahead and finish off Armos. Armos only holding the bombs, so he's not gonna get anything from this, but this will even things up a little bit between him and Mike. But it looks like Mike is gonna be going back and going for the Skullwoods play to go ahead and check Pyramid Fairy and then route in Pyramid Check. And I could easily see him go over to Pod after that. So I really like this routing option. I oftentimes like to route in Pyramid Check with Pyramid Fairy. It's just when you get scenarios where the pyramid item is the item you need to get the Pyramid Fairy crystals.
Right.
Like in my last race, then you're like, oh, okay, well that's fine. Alright, since we got a little bit of time to kill, let's talk about that pedestal real quick. Of course, we don't have any more items in Skullwood, so Mike's not going to pick up a book somewhere and then go check the pedestal, so we'll probably never even see a pedestal check from this seed. We know it can't be Kane because of Mire. It can be Boots.
Can be Ether as well.
And it can be Ether, so... Oh, it could be...
Could be
Bugnet.
The book leading to Ether in its vanilla location. The Ether tablet.
Look at old Paradox.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, Mike the V bringing out the hammer strats. And it looks like Andy's going to be following suit and going right to Mothula as well, so these players are going to be, you know, pretty neck and neck. And Andy also has, you know, I wonder if Andy is just going to go ahead and skip that extra sword. Upper Cave is kind of obnoxious to get.
Yeah.
Oh, and convenient for Mike, he can't just mirror and head out. Not having to backtrack through Skullwoods. Yeah, really clean fight from him. Alright, well, we're gonna have to wait a little bit to see Pyramid Fairy. We'll definitely see it from Andy's point of view first. So Mike is going straight for the pod play, where he will get his cape and a crystal. Whoop. I don't utilize that enough. Trying to hit the Gibjo into the spike.
Oh yeah. Yeah, me neither.
I usually just fire rod him because I'm lazy.
Too.
Oh, we're getting hammer strats from Andy as well. And it looked like a very friendly pattern from Mothula to make that a quick fight.
Yeah, if you get Mothula down to the bottom of the map, is better because it makes using Hammer a lot easier.
Sword only required to get to Mothula, but not to not to kill him.
Right.
That was good stuff. All right, will we see a save and quit? Or is he gonna go? He's going. He's doing the thing. So what was the last progression item the last new progression item we've seen was what? The cave? Since that's kind of a progression item in the sense.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, that also...
Andy picked up his fire rod, but we've known that location since the beginning.
That also opens up Spike Cave as an option, too.
Mm-hmm.
He's going for it. He's going to get that Master Sword. That's big. That's huge. And unlike the last time these players faced each other, Andy will be the first one to get the Master Sword.
Burn.
It wasn't a burn, it was an observation. Come. Now, I gotta say, common misconception about this Bumper Cave. A lot of newer players still think that that hookshot is required to get through that. But when you walk up that second room, you can actually hug the top of the wall where the little pots are on the left side, and walk right around that first hole. You just gotta be quick and careful and not fall in the hole and try again.
So now Andy has both pyramid crystals, so it looks like he's heading to check that.
Yeah, and also, since Andy hasn't seen the mirror or has not been in Mire, he also does not know that the boots are required for Desert Palace. You think we're going to get some progression at this Pyramid Fairy?
I used to say it's 50-50, but this version seems to be less likely, I've seen. But you never know. There's still a lot of items on the table they can find, so it wouldn't be out of the question.
Now I wonder, with Cape in hand, if Mike the V is going to immediately go check Bumper Cave, and then route in maybe like a trip to Northern Graveyard or Pyramid Ledge or Graveyard Ledge.
Heart container and piece of heart.
Heart piece. You know, when Pyramid Fairy is so accessible this early, there's no way it's going to be something, right?
Well,
but it's a quick check. Actually, no, it's not a quick check at all.
Candy's heading up to Catfish.
This is one of those really out-of-the-way locations.
Yeah, especially if you do all that Zora stuff early.
It also seems like it's pretty rare these days to get to route go from Catfish to Zora with the mirror. I remember doing that all the time in V18. Oh, we see from Mike the V, with that mirror in hand, he's been able to route pods so much quicker. Well, not so much, quick, pretty quick. Pretty quick.
Oh, and there's the Ether Medallion! Oh my goodness.
That is huge.
Oh my gosh, at that overworld location.
That is huge.
Oh man, might not check that for a while.
Oh man, it depends. If he goes Pyramid Fairy, Pyramid, and then the Catfish like Andy did, then he's fine. Because here's the thing, Ether doesn't do anything for us now. We still need that Cane of Samaria before we can consider anything. And looks like Andy's going for the Ice Palace play. We'll find
Andy. So we only need 2 more items, or Andy needs 2 more items for go mode, the cane and the boots.
We got 3 items in Ice Palace and a crystal. Depending on how the dungeon is laid out, will kind of make for a more convenient routing options. I always like seeing that first key in the first chest. That's nice. The idea is to entirely avoid that 2 jelly room.
Early big key in Ice Palace.
Oh, now you got to think maybe the double freezer room has the first key, and then you could backtrack. Mike the V heading into Helmstar King. Should be quick. And when you're not using the sword charge stuff, you got some extra help or some extra mails. You can just kind of wail on them this way and save a few frames.
Mm-hmm.
These boss fights have been really clean. They're kind of a wonder to watch. The cleanest of boss fights. Alright, well at this point, the only major difference is in crystals is Mike the V having the Tower of Hera crystal already.
Is Mike opting? Nope, he changed his mind. He knows he has a cape, so he's gonna go get that Master Sword.
Oh, this room is such a pain when you don't have the boots.
Mm-hmm. First item in Ice Palace is $20.
And he's saving a little bit of time from having to backtrack by doing a nice little bomb jump to get up to the hookshot section. Ooh. Taking a fall. And Mike the V going to be picking up his Master Sword. And at that point, the only difference right now, well, Mike has a potentially required or potentially useless mirror. And Andy has a very much required Ether Medallion.
We know that Mike did skip the basement in Harris, so that might be holding something of value.
Yeah, I wonder if he's going to ever make his way back there. It's one of those things where if you have to commit to it. If you're going to gamble, you got to commit to it.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as you go back on the gamble, it's not gamble anymore. And you lose time regardless. Second item, Piece of Heart.
So each non-item they're getting in these dungeons makes it more and more likely that Swamp might have something. That mirror might be required. Oh, and there's the last item, just a heart container, so nothing in Ice Palace.
Ice Palace is not the answer. So at this point, what would be the most ideal go mode item? Probably Canis Maria. Because if you get that, it could be a potential, boots on Laser Bridge scenario.
Right.
And with that cape in hand, that is a possibility. Potential possibility. Andy checking a few extra chests. Might not have been counting. Unless he intends to use the small key.
He must have miscounted items.
What's he doing? He's already got it. Oh. No, he hasn't done the blue jelly room, but yeah. That at this point is only going to have, what, a small key maybe?
Or a map or compass, I think. I don't think he has either a map or a compass. Because he's got all 3 items, and I think he's...
He did get the compass. We did see that.
Oh.
Well, we'll find out right now.
Is either a map or a key. Here's the map.
Alright, so far the mirror locked locations haven't been reaping any benefits for Mike the V. Only a heart piece at the Circle of Bushes. But with this routing, well, he still has to go check Pyramid Ferry, so he might still do that before committing to Swamp. But that would be the most gambliest of gambles.
I guess that's how you put it.
It's the only way to put it. If he was to go into swamp. Let's see if he does it after this. He probably won't. Alright, so Cold Stare's gonna be holding the second key then. I believe there's only 2 keys and chests in this dungeon. And we're gonna get a little combo Bombo's Fire Rod. Nice.
Not pulling out the fire rod. He's going with hammer strats. Oh, now he's getting it out.
Just want to get some easy free hits at the beginning, I guess.
Yeah.
That's one down.
Yeah, if you get out your hammer and you have them all together like that, it's probably the best time to use it. Oop. Watch out. There you go.
Nice. About as clean as you can get with the items that you have. Though, what were their potions or bottles? They have an empty bottle, and Andy has 2. I don't know what his second one is. Oh, it looks like Mike the V is going for the catfish play, so he will be getting his ether medallion, thus tying up these players in items, except for the mirror in hand. So, but this is good. Going for this, he's probably thinking, oh, I don't want mirror to be required, so I'm gonna just skip stuff for now.
Oh, nice having the mirror here too. He can refill his bottle along the way.
Oh man, Andy going for, he's finally doing it.
He's doing it.
And we could potentially find out if there is a second item in here that is progressive. Man, that would be unfortunate to lose a race just because of an unfortunate death in Mire.
Yeah, it sucks.
So yeah, the question is, what is Mike's next play going to be? He has Tower Para Basement, Spike Cave, second item in Mire, or all of Swamp Palace, or Ice Palace for him. I would see him go into Ice Palace before he commits to Swamp.
Yeah, me too.
Alright, Andy about to pick up his mirror. I wonder if he'll bail out once he gets that, or if he's going to stick around. We've seen races come down to players bailing out on a Mire after without getting both items.
But looks like he's still gonna check. As long as he doesn't die here too.
Yeah, we don't want to see that. Small key. So yeah, for people just joining us now, we are looking for 2 items. We are looking for a Cane of Samaria, and we are looking for the boots. That's pretty much it. Now, we might have to get some other items to find those items, like a mushroom or powder. You know, any of the fetch quests book included.
Another small key.
Yeah, I'm starting to get nervous now. This is a little nerve-wracking just because this could be huge for Andy. Andy did kind of get a slow start because of, well, I wouldn't say slow start. Just missing that fire rod early.
Yeah.
It didn't really make that big of a difference. Another small key.
Yeah, about the only thing that helped Mike a little bit in routing department, but he really didn't lose too much time waiting to do Eastern.
I never really thought about taking this route to get this chest.
Oh my goodness, in there!
Oh no!
my! That is so huge.
It's
Oh
over.
man, that cane has been in that location. I don't know how many times this version. That is.
Wow.
Oh, that is crazy.
And if Mike DeVee hadn't died in Mire, he would have had that.
Oh, that is so unfortunate.
Now, here's the question. It looks like Andy's going to go ahead and do the Tower of Hera and T-Rock play, potentially.
Mm-hmm.
We could see Boots on Laser Bridge. That is a very popular place for Boots to be.
You just
Yeah,
hope
we are.
Mike heads back to Mire at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
It'd be awful to see him go for the Swamp play before going back into Mire. But who knows? Boots could be in Swamp. It's one of those things that I've seen happen a lot, as well as it has happened to me, where you commit to something and then it messes up or you die, and you're like, well, I'm going to swap my routing instantly instead of going back and committing to what I was doing.
Yeah.
And then you're always like, oh man, I should have just gone back in. But at the same time, it's random. You never know what's going to happen. So. Yeah, Andy, it's one of those things where you kind of like, you go, like, let's say T-Rock is your last dungeon and you're heading up to Death Mountain to go do it, and you only have 2 medallions. You're like, let's just hope that this isn't required.
Yeah.
I doubt Andy's...
Go ahead.
Huh? I'm saying I doubt Andy would have that same thought process for Desert.
Also mentioned in chat, Andy hasn't checked to see if boots were required, has he?
No, he didn't check that after Mire.
So, do you think he thinks he's in go mode?
Well, he's still checking everything.
Yeah,
so.
That's true.
Also, something worth thinking about: if Swamp ends up not being useful at all, then the mirror was simply just to get into Desert, and Book's gonna be like somewhere stupid, like in Swamp Palace or something.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know you could just walk through that. I always saw people dash through it.
Yeah, if you're on the same pixel or same like line that you dash in, you can get across.
That makes sense.
It's just not worth it sometimes because you're only saving half a second if you.
I mean, I figured if you could
cross.
run through it, you can walk through it. I've just never seen someone walk through it.
Right.
Now, I wonder if Andy's gonna check that basement. I doubt it, but I'm not gonna commit to that doubt. All right, he's saying, "Nah, I'm good."
Yeah.
It's a commitment, especially when you have all of T-Rock available now. You'd rather spend time checking T-Rock, and if T-Rock is a bust, as in you don't find the boots, you could always go back over here and check it anyway. All right, Mike DeVee heading into Cold Stare. Let's see what kind of fight we're gonna get from him. He's got less health in the fight, but he does have a spare potion.
Yeah, he does have that blue potion, so. Gotta be careful, he has to have it in his menu before he kills one of the eyes.
Oh yeah, that'd be bad if you died while struggling to try and pause.
Yeah. Well, the game doesn't let you pause when an eye is getting destroyed like that, so.
The game doesn't know how to handle explosions.
Yeah. He has no problem, though. Quickly takes down Cold Stare.
Easy game. Alright, let's find out what kind of T-Rock are we gonna get today. More to be revealed. Alright, Mike, what's the next play? This is big! Will he go for the Swamp play, or will he go back into Mire? He's going. Oh no, he's
What? He's
going for.
heading over.
Oh, has he not done Hyrule yet?
I think he's done the. I think he did the front of escape, just not the sewer
The
chest.
sewer. Oh. Imagine if Boots were there the whole time.
Oh god. I was just in a
Incredible.
race last night where the mirror was there, and it was my go mode item. I had checked everywhere except the sewer.
That's an easy one to forget if you put it off for too long.
Exactly. Yeah.
Same with any light world locations if you put them off for too long. I don't think either player has. We haven't seen this yet, have we?
Nope.
Oh man. What's it gonna be? It's
Tempered sword for Andy. Oh, just 20 bucks.
Just the big 20. Tempered sword, that's a nice find.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing about that is that both players are definitely going to end up getting that. But yeah, at this point, if Mike wants to stay alive in this race, Boots cannot be in T-Rock. Otherwise, it's pretty much over. And it looks like he's going to be checking some overworld stuff around here.
All he hasn't checked in this area is the ledge above Graveyard, I think.
I believe he's checking Peg Cave.
Oh yeah, he still has to check Peg Cave and Smiths too.
Key for a key. Always fun. Unfortunately, having that mirror will allow him to check this a little bit quicker, which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
He did go down and check, like, Circle of Bushes, but he skipped the frog initially. Because then if you do the frog, then you gotta do purple chest, and just commit to all that stuff. Nobody wants to do that. I don't know about you, but I'm really feeling Boots are gonna be in here.
Yeah.
In Turtle Rock. Not for Mike.
At this point, the boots need to be either at pedestal or associated with the item that comes from pedestal.
Yeah, the only time you ever really need boots is if it's like on one of the torch things. Like an item is on a torch. Like a key, small key, or big key in G Tower. Or if it's your only way to get into Mire. Since I believe that is part of the logic. Just an arrow upgrade. Just an arrow upgrade.
Synced arrow upgrade finds. He has the cape, so by logic, the boots could be here on the laser bridge. Just the compass.
Oh man, we're getting there. I mean, imagine... Well, if Mike the V happens to find Boots next... that would send him back to Desert, and he might go back into Mire afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
But he is... Since he went into the Dark World, I think he might be setting up to go into Swamp. Just a heart piece, or heart container. Alright, moment of truth. Hold on, 1 second.
Oh.
1 second, hold on. Small key.
Map.
3 hundo.
Don't die, Andy. Oh my goodness.
It could still be on Trinex, I think. Mike the V is going for the swamp play. This could be huge. If it's not at Tridex, then Andy might have to make this play as well. But it depends on if he decides to go straight for swamp or if he checks overworld stuff like Mike the V did. This is nothing worse than losing a game to overworld. To not check it enough overworld. But it also sucks losing a game to checking too much overworld.
Especially in this version where you're sort of going against the strategy of checking dungeons you can complete.
Pretty quick phase 1. Let's see if he gets the quick one. Oh yeah,
oh,
double spin, 1 slash.
Easy.
Oh man, Killer App, what do you think? You think it's gonna be it? Is this the boots?
I wouldn't doubt it. I've seen them here before. Yes, it is! Oh my, Andy is in go mode. Holy mackerel.
Huge lead. It is pretty much over for Mike the V, unfortunately. He's gonna go through all of Swamp Palace, maybe finding like a sword upgrade or a shield upgrade, but it's over. It's pretty much over.
Doesn't even need to look for a sword this time.
This is an insane time as well. Looking at this, we're gonna be heading to Desert Palace where he'll be able to knock it out quickly, and then it's right up to G Tower. So yeah, but that's the thing, guys. You could do everything right in a seed, but one mistake can cost you the entire game, and that mistake was Mike the V taking a death in Mire and not continuing looking for items. Which, you know, that just sucks. That's how it goes. That's Rando, baby.
If you can't take it, get out of here.
Yeah, get out of here. We'll see you in version 27. It's kind of funny that Andy, of all people, to get boots as your go mode item. Mr. Hover over here. Oh, there's
another sword. Wow. So he's gonna have butter, but I don't think it's gonna be too much of a factor at this point.
I wonder if he's gonna skip the left side. And a heart piece. But yeah, I mean that's the other thing is sometimes, you know, the mirror ended up being required because we needed it to get into desert. That was it. It served no other purpose.
No.
In the logic. And sometimes those single items can lead you down the right path or down the wrong path. Oh, and also with this being the green pennant, he'll probably go check Sahasrara before he goes back into Mire. Oh, a little early on the swing, missing the hit.
I wonder if Andy thinks he's winning right now with the play he just made.
I feel like he probably thinks his early game was bad because of that fire rod. But in the end, he's just been kind of hitting it out, you know, in order, doing everything right afterwards. So, and when you look at your time and you're only looking at an hour 20 and you're heading up to G Tower, you got to be feeling pretty good.
Yeah, definitely.
But that often happens in these seeds where you get Dark World access pretty quickly. The longer seeds are always the ones where it's like the very last item you find is, you know, is what gets you into the Dark World, blah, blah, blah. Alright guys, it's that spooky time of the year. I don't know if anyone's has anyone started the thing yet? Let me start it first. Did someone start it? I didn't start it. Did Feasel start it?
I didn't start it. I don't know how to start it.
You just type exclamation. I'll start it.
Okay.
Okay, now everybody type it in.
Now, yeah, now spam the chat.
But yeah, we're looking for that big key in G Tower, and we got 22 potential locations to find it in. Hiei just started it again. All right, now get your Killer App. Go ahead and start it. No.
You get 200.
And it looks like Mike the V is going for the left side check. I believe there is. Did he get the big key yet? There might be 2 items over there, or at least an item in a big key or something.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, where do you think it's going to be, Killer App? Put your number in.
I always think it's going to be early, but I'll go random this time. I'll say 11.
11? Okay. It's almost like the numbers are arbitrary because there's different ways you can route G-Tower.
Right. Yeah, I route it based on if I think I'm behind or ahead.
There's the powder.
Oh, nice powder. The big key was on the left side of swamp.
And a bomb upgrade. Oh, that's gotta be. That definitely doesn't feel good. All right,
No.
chest number 3 is a small key. Let's keep going. Keep the party going. And it looks like Andy is going with the normal preferred safe strat. Well, I think Mike the V might be going either back up to Hera Basement or to check Spike Cave or both.
The mushroom.
It's the mushroom. Chest 5, small key. Chest 6, heart piece. Chest 7, red roof. Nothing yet. Chest 8. Shovel.
Fetch Quest Tower.
Can we find a book too, just to get them all out of the way? That's comical. Nice boomerang throw. Nice boomerang throw. Nice boomerang throw.
Throwing into the wall, make it go right landing.
All right, coming up is chest number 9. Just a herpes. Yo, shouts to all the people subbing. You guys are awesome. And those dropping them sweet biddies. While Andy's dropping them sweet bomb-ease. What? Why is my face on screen? Did you see that?
Yep. Oh, the book!
There it is!
Oh, it is! Number 12, I was one off.
Big key 12.
Wow.
Wow. That's insane. Rando room, safe route, good stuff. Alright, well, with tempered swords, silver arrows, red mail, and at least 12 hearts total, we got ourselves an easy gauntlet coming up, while Mike the V is making the walk back into Mire, where he's going to find his Canis Maria. Now, the thing is, it's only an hour and 24 minutes in, so it's still not a bad time. But he's got to know that, at this point, he's way behind.
Yeah, especially when he sees the, well, and he'll probably be done before he gets the boots in T-Rock.
That is also the worst place to put the Go Mode item, at Trinex.
Yeah.
I mean, more often than not, you have to check every chest in T-Rock anyway, but, like, The idea of being able to skip the laser bridge is always, nice. And unfortunately for Mike, he's also checking bad stuff. Well, all the other stuff in Mire before checking that one chest. But that is kind of a awful chest location for an item. And a big key. Like, that chest is the worst. Oh, Andy getting a little excited with the silvers, but he's still at least getting a 2-cycle out of this one. Nice. mikethev picking up his big key. He'll probably, well, yeah, he'll do big key, big chest into the second item. Yeah, and the worst part about it is once he finds Kane, he still has to go up, do Turtle Rock, get the boots, and then go back, do Desert, and then go back up to G Tower, so...
Yeah.
Andy moving into the first torch room. Bringing out the lamp. And we already know where the last sword is. It was in Swamp Palace, so... But with tempered and silvers, you're not really... You might check the last chest, but you're not really checking any other chests, probably.
And the last possible chest in Mire, he's gonna find his item. Unfortunate.
Oh man, that sucks.
That's gotta feel awful.
And he failing the hover.
Yeah.
Will he try again? That's the real question. He better. Mike might be able to catch up, depending on how well he does this.
Try number 2. Got it this time.
Easy. Well, so much for checking the last chest, though. But that's okay. I think a hover was in the chest. We can safely assume that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it wouldn't be an Andy race if he didn't hover. Let's see this Agatha fight. Looks like a 1. I think those two hit at the same time.
There's 2.
Nice angle. I like that. Ooh.
All I need is 1 more.
These single slices. They're always really nice looking when they get them.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna clip out. He's trying to clip out of bounds. Don't let him do it! Oh, he did it! Well, that's unfortunate. I feel like that's, I don't think that's allowed, is it? Can I get an admin in here, real quick? Alright, Andy heading into the Ganon fight. mikethev just now heading into T-Rock, where he'll find his boots at the end of Trinex. And minus the silver arrows, this is a pretty standard NMG fight. that was nice. I like how you could just dash right through him. It is also worth noting that, normally we get like 16, 17 part races, but, we got 12 from Andy and 14, potentially more from Mike. That's when you know it's been a pretty fast seed.
Mm-hmm.
Andy's just barely not going to get the 130.
Fortunate for them, though, they got red mail early.
There's 1 silver.
1 silver arrow.
Should be a double. And another single.
And there it is.
There it is.
Not quite sub 130, but still a really fast seed.
GG's to Andy. Once he walks through that door, he will be walking into the group stages, finishing with a record of 4-2 and narrowly avoiding that tiebreaker race on Saturday.
An official SRL time of 1 hour, 30 minutes, and 29 seconds.
GG's indeeds. We'll probably try and get him in here for an interview so we can tell him what happened. We'll tell him what's the deal. But yeah, what an incredible race. Coming down to basically one mistake. Not something you ever want to see happen, but that is just the nature of Rando. This could have been a very completely different seed if Mike had just committed to going back into Mire after his death. But because the Mire gamble he made was really early, because remember, Andy made that gamble way later after he went back and did Eastern and got Fire Rod. So had he had Mire and Kane that early, he could have gone to T-Rock once he got Ether from Catfish.
Yeah.
So, but that is definitely the nature of Randomizer.
So we have this moment reminder to everyone in chat. Please, if you aren't already, follow the runners. They're definitely doing great work in this tourney. It's been surely entertaining, so drop them a follow, sub, any kind of support. And also support our commentators, trackers, and Feasel for putting this all together.
I'll take my support in the form of Twitter follows. And maybe some of those delicious candy corn pumpkins, since it is Halloween. And those are just the optimal candy corn, the pumpkins, not the regular candy corn. Those could take a hike.
Get out of here.
Get out of here. But yeah, GG to both these runners. Super great. It was a really great race. Really very interesting early game when you get access to Dark World so soon. And you think to yourself, what do I do? Where do I go? Help. And yeah, it's always fun. Do I prefer those kind of seeds? To play? No. To watch? Yes. Well, more importantly, I'm happy to see that mikethev is going to go ahead and finish out the rest of this race. A lot of times players will just forfeit and not finish it, but you know, you put in an hour and a half worth of your time, you might as well keep going.
Yeah, he probably wonders where the boots are at too.
Yeah, all Mike needs to do is defeat Trinex to get the boots and a crystal, and then go back to Desert to get his small key, to get his big key to kill Lamola. Yeah, chat, what'd you guys think of that race? Was it I don't think it was trolly enough for our audience. I don't think there was enough wacky things that happened.
Now, the Mire could have been trolly, but the Kane in the same dungeon sort of took down the troll a little bit.
Yeah, Laser Bridge is not fun when you don't have the boots. I mean, our player, he does have the cape out, so he can use it. Oh, there we go. He is using it. So, Killer App, what is going on for the rest of today in this tournament? I believe we have a lot of races still left.
Oh boy, yeah, especially with the shortened time frame to finish all the races for this week. Definitely have a lot on our plate. Tonight, race is we got a race going on right now in Speed Gaming 2 between Problems IRL and Alucard 2004. I think both of these guys are playing for playoff spot, so that's a big one. And
What's up? I don't
hey,
know my
there's
computer
Andy.
is destroying itself.
Congrats, Andy.
Yeah, GG.
GG. That was a really weird seed. But
That was a goofy seed, especially with Dark World access so early.
yeah, it was just like a lot of little breadcrumbs right outside of dungeons that'd be like, "Hey, you should go in here."
Yeah.
Yeah, it really was. And yet you're still like, oh cool, I got Quake for GG Mire. I'm not gonna do it.
That was a really weird seed. It was weird. So like,
That was a goofy seed,
after the
especially with
South
Dark World
Dark
access
World
so early.
loop, I was
Yeah.
gonna be like, right, I'm going to Eastern
It was
next.
just
I got
like-
the bow, it's Hashla, a lot of little breadcrumbs.
Let's just
do it. Then I got the
outside
hammer.
dungeons that'd be
Like,
"Hey, you
well,
should go in here."
let's do
Yeah.
pod.
Yeah, yeah.
And then
it
I did
was.
Thieves Town.
And yet
and
you're
then,
still like, oh cool, I got Quake.
Hey,
Hey, Andy, one
Thieves
second. Sorry, can you mute all your stream audio?
Yeah.
1 sec.
it was
We're getting
it was
an echo.
weird. So like,
We're good. We're
after
good.
the South Dark World loop, I was gonna be like, right, I'm going to
it's all
Eastern
muted
next. I
now.
got the bow, it's Hashla. Let's just do it. Then I got the hammer. Like, well, let's do pod. And then I did Thieves Town. And then after I did Thieves
Hey,
Town, I
Andy,
was
one
like,
second. Sorry, can you mute all your
everything
stream
better
audio?
now?
1 sec. I think so.
We're
Yeah.
getting an echo.
Just wait for it. Make sure it doesn't do it.
All right.
Okay, cool, beautiful. All right. Sorry, can you say all that stuff that you just said again?
yes. I did the South Dark World loop, and after that, I was gonna do Eastern, and then I got the hammer, so I did Pod instead. And I did Thieves Town. And then after Thieves Town, I was like, well, I was gonna go do Eastern. Let's just do it because I don't want to forget about it later. And then it had Fire Rod. So then what I did Skull and then Fat Fairy. And I was like, well, Quake was outside of Mire, so let's just go in there. And then I really didn't want to go to Hera. I didn't want to like trek around Death Mountain
Mhm.
again. And then
Well, it worked out in the end.
yeah,
Both really good routing for both you guys. Mike ended up doing the Pendant Dungeons a little bit earlier, so he had Fire Rod initially before he went into the Dark World. He also made the Mire play immediately once he got Quake. The big problem is he got the mirror, but then he unfortunately died in the spike room trying to get the small key and never
Oh.
went back in
dang,
until after doing Swamp Palace.
that's pretty rough.
So he missed that Canis Maria, which could have this game could have been completely different outcome had he not died there. Of course, you never know what could happen, but that was definitely the major component that determined this game. And then once we saw Boots at Trinex, it was like, yep, it's over. It's done. There's no coming back from this one.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah. He did find another sword, though, in a swamp, so... But yeah, since he had Fire Rod early, he was able to do Thieves Town, Skullwoods in one go. But since he hadn't done Pod, he went back later to get the sword afterward. Or did he do it that way? Something like that. You were the first one to get Master Sword, which we were jokingly saying, which is the complete opposite of your last race together in the last tourney.
Yeah,
So, the grudge match has been decided.
the grudge match.
But with
Either
this,
way, whoever
moving
lost
on to-
this match is gonna be a force to be reckoned with in the play-in.
oh yeah, definitely. I mean, only 6 people are coming out of that one alive, so but yeah, nice. You're getting that 4 and 2, and now you can just relax until the group stages.
Yeah, I was a little worried starting 1 and 2, but pulled it out.
Yeah, your
Pulled
play's
it
been
out.
really good the last couple weeks. You definitely earned it.
Now the question is, we have the rest of the races this week, the tiebreaker on Saturday, and then whenever the bracket reveal is, I mean, not that you really need to prepare for anything, but I'm curious to see what kind of matchups we're going to get in the first round. And with a 4 and 2, you're not going to get, well, you're kind of a fake 4 and 2 if you think about it. You're going to be underseeded. So whoever gets matched up against you is gonna be like, "Oh, come on, man! I get Andy. That's not fair."
That's how I lost to Mike last time.
Because I remember, seeding in the last tournament was a little wonky as well.
I
Just
think I was the lowest 4-0 seed going in the bracket, so I got placed super low. And
did we have? It was like Mike, you, and ACMLM all on the same side of the bracket.
it was me, Mike, and Chris in the same quarter, and then ACM was on the other half.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, hopefully. I'm sure we won't have anything like that this time, right? We'll see.
We still got group stages to go. Don't forget.
Yeah, that's true. We do have group stages, so
Group stages be nuts.
I forgot about that. Well, yeah. Well. So I guess like the people that win the tiebreaker races are going to be the bottom seeds in group stages, and then all the 4 and 2s are going to be the next up.
Yeah.
So you'll still get kind of a low seed in your group, so it should be fun. But yeah, any other thoughts about the seed overall?
Don't ignore breadcrumbs, everybody.
Don't ignore them. Except, don't go to swamp if you don't have to, if it's not required. Ignore some breadcrumbs, but not all of them.
Yeah. Once I got Mire and Kane, I was like, well, I can just finish off the rest of Death Mountain. There's no reason for me to go anywhere else.
Yeah. Well, I mean, of course that definitely, because when you got the Kane as well, then you're like, well, I can do more crystal dungeons. Why wouldn't I go do that instead?
Yeah, and I didn't know if I could beat Desert at the moment compared to being able to beat Hera and Turtle So I was just like, hopefully I find boots on the way.
Yeah, we were a little curious why you didn't pop into Desert right after Mire.
I just
to double check, or did you just kind of like, I don't want to waste the time. Let's just hope for the
yeah.
best.
I mean, the likelihood that you don't need boots for Desert is pretty low. So like a 1 in 4. So.
And at the same time, both you guys skipped Hera Basement, but other than that, full clearing everything else in Hera or everything in T-Rock is usually the standard anyway, whether you're in Goma or not. I mean, it would have been nice to skip Laser Bridge without the boots, and Cape Strats aren't the best when you don't have half magic for the Laser Bridge, but
that was like the worst Laser Bridge I've done in a long time. I walked in the pit like 3 times right off the bat.
You're like, just a little bit closer. Yeah. Well, there's a fun seed. Right now, Mike the V is just about to head to the rando room and get his book and the big key.
Kane and his big key.
Yeah, shout outs to Fetch Quest.
Every Fetch Quest item was a Against Tower. It was really good.
That's the kind of G Tower you want, unless you're like in a scenario where it's Pendant Pod and Pendant Eastern, and one of those Fetch Quests leads to Bow or some stupid scenario. I want to see that though. Someday we'll get that.
I've been in a race where the book led to the bow
Nice.
from Ganon's Tower. So
was it like right at Ether though?
It was at Bombos.
Oh,
So,
it would have been awesome if it was at Ether. I'll just go check this real quick. Yeah, any final words about your race or just about Rando in general, Andy?
I love V26, even though I lose a lot.
It's a pretty controversial opinion. V26 is definitely an experience. It definitely, you kind of just have to accept the fact that you're going to lose a lot.
Yeah.
But then you're going to win some, and then you're like, oh cool, I like V26 again.
As long as you can accept the frustration that comes with it, everything's fine.
Yeah. I gotta say I think the most interesting part about V26 is the fact that there is really nothing's ever a gamble anymore. Everything's kind of just expected. Oh yeah, Pendant Mire, sure, I'll go in there right now. Oh, Pendant Tier, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, that feeling when checking the purple chest without the mirror is more of a gamble than diving in Pendant Swamp or something.
Yeah. It's definitely changed the way we play this game now. Yeah, I have enjoyed version 26. It's definitely a completely different experience from last tournament with V18.
Yeah.
where every seed was Aga Tower, skip Ice Rock Cave, except that one time, or...
Well, one of the races with me and Mike, that was like the decider, was he skipped Ice Rod Cave, so his only option was Aghanim. And Ice Rod Cave had the glove, so my route was completely different.
Oh, wow.
But then
Did Glove give him Darkhold
Mushroom was on yeah, Glove gave me Darkhold access. And then Pyramid had Mushroom, and Mushroom gave Titan's Mitt, so Mike got Titan's Mitts like right after Aghanim.
Oh man, that's rough. So he didn't have to do Aghanim, but because of it, he got...
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, we were talking about, for those that were wondering, when we were talking about this being a grudge match, in their last tournament race, it came down to, they both had Fighter Sword going into Crystal T-Rock, which was their last dungeon before G-Tower. Mike the V checked Mimic Cave and got his Master Sword, while... Did you full clear G-Tower and not find anything?
No.
Or did you just get the big key, win up the gauntlet, and hope for the best?
What did I do? I remember I did the 2 right chests, went left side, got the big key from, I think, like, north of Gap Room, and then I kept checking until I got to Rando Room, and then I mirrored and just went upstairs hoping to get a sword in the chest up there, and I didn't.
That's
I
a rough one.
I don't think there was a sword in GT at all. I don't remember if I ever checked right side, though.
Yeah, and as you all know, you need at least a Master Sword to beat Ganon, so... And basically, when you're at that point, you check the last chest after Mulder Turn, and you're like, well, I lost regardless.
Yeah.
I don't think... You didn't even finish, did you?
No.
But the unfortunate part was it was also game 3. Was it, or was it game...
No, that was game 2. Mike's about
Okay.
I think both our races were like, besides the, I mean, if I had, I don't know, me not finishing the second one, I guess. But the first one was like less than a minute apart, I think.
Oh my... Mike just got the double triple. Wow.
Very nice.
Oh, yeah.
What a nice Aga too. Beautiful. Yeah, he'll be heading in again, and he has the gold sword in hand, so this fight will be a few seconds quicker. But yeah, just look the difference one tiny mistake can make in finishing times. But, you know, could have been a completely different seed where only the mirror was in, you know, these items could have been anywhere. They could have been in the swamp. Could have been a completely different game.
It's gonna have been a pedestal.
This could have been a pedestal. Chat would have exploded from that.
That would have been unfortunate.
Yeah. Alright, Mike the V heading into phase 2. Maybe we'll get a triple out of him. But yeah, just to remind you guys, we got another race going on right now at Speed Gaming 2, and then one going on right now at Speed Gaming 3 as well. So you guys got more race action to come right after this.
4 more races is tonight as well.
Mm-hmm. There we have it. That is Ganon down for Mike the V. Mike is... That is true, though. He's going to be a force to be reckoned with in the tiebreaker race. Kind of terrifying.
And Mike finishes with an SRL time of 1 hour 48. GG, Mike.
GG's. Well, once again, Andy, congratulations on your victory. And thank you for coming in for the interview as well.
Thank you very much.
Make sure you guys give this guy a follow. He's a pretty chill streamer, you know. He's got cool stuff going on over there.
Give Mike a follow, too. He's a really good Link to the Past player.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we could definitely see the skill coming out in a lot of these boss fights. They were the blind fight, the Mothula. They're so good. Helmasaur. Cold Stare was okay, but you know. I don't believe Mike will be coming in for an interview. He might pop in the chat and say hi. Not sure, but either way, I think we got to wrap this one up.
Yep. So, thank you all for watching. Much more rando on the way.
Oh yeah, it's never gonna end until AGDQ. Pretty
so,
much.
When's your match, Willard?
My match is on Wednesday at 7 p.m.
Mine's at 7 p.m. on Thursday. So.
Oh man.
Cool.
Well, good luck to you, Killer Ad.
Yep. Good luck.
Thanks. Well, guys, thank you so much for hanging out. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Make sure to support everybody involved in this tournament, and you could do that simply by watching the races. So we got one. Oh, go ahead.
Follow all the Speed Gaming channels 1, 2, and 3, and we have the secondary tournament going on there, coming up to brackets soon as well on the Randomizer Mania channels. So
don't forget.
Fun.
Head on over to SG2 for Problems versus Alucard, or SG3 for Patty versus Carcat. Thank you guys for having me. Thank you, Killer App. Y'all take it easy.
Thank you. Bye bye.